Welcome to this restorative yoga class, where we explore the story and themes of 2023 in the Dreamfruit journal. For this class, you can pause the video to gather any props. Some suggested props are your yoga props, such as a mat, a bolster, blocks, and a blanket. If you have a Dreamfruit journal or another journal and pen, and then you can have music in the background if you would like, but I do not have music as part of the video. To begin, I invite you to lie down. There's no need for you to see your video screen right now. I can lead you through this meditation. So you're going to lie down. You're going to bring any bolsters or props that will help you feel more comfortable. You're going to feel the back of your body be supported. You're going to allow yourself to relax. Take this time for yourself. Begin to check in with your breath. Where is your breath? Is it up in your chest? Is it filling your lungs? Do you feel your abdominals, your tummy going up and down? How fast or slow is your breath? Do you feel like your breath is supporting your body? Allow yourself to arrive at this time and place without any agenda. Allow your deep imagination to come into play as I tell you the story of 2023. In the land of Dreamfruit, you will come upon a long silver coastline with morning mists and a sea-gray sunrise. There you will see a small trust of women in scarlet robes walking the early morning waterline. Hear them sing as they step barefoot through the cold, wet foam. They sing to the pebbles and bits of bone scattered like runes across the sand. They toss the song to and fro, each adding the next verse to create a living record of the dawn and the changes the night has brought to shore. Dreamfruit is a call and response, a form of echolocation. It is how we know who and where we are in relation to the times at hand. It is how we measure the changes and read the runes, moon by moon. The maps of this land tell us that a great fire breathes in the south, and the eastern dawn brings light from the mind of creation. The waters of this land are vast and deep and clearly situated to the west, flowing and lapping against the shores of the north, home of ancestors and our winter lodge where we go to dream through the long night. In the heart of this land, the world tree reaches deeply into both earth and sky, and so the map also requires above and below. Bow to the four directions, and to the earth below and the sky above. Feel yourself held in the circle of the world, and breathe. As you consider the terrain of the coming year, The unfolding story with all its knowns and unknowns. Give yourself a picture of the world you most want to walk within. Consider the days and months ahead as a tiny but consequential sliver in the span of geological time. And so, here we are gathered for the dawn of a new time, and we are stitching it fervently to the robes of deep time. A path appears, and we step through the gate together. Here's the story, the overall story of 2023. The journey this year is one of metamorphosis that brings you into radical honesty about what power and actions are yours to yield for the healing of your life and the world. As the seasons progress, we move from forest to betweenlands to city hardscape. Imagine that you are spinning a glorious chrysalis, dissolving who you've known yourself to be and emerging with a wildly renewed purpose. The journey changes you, and this year it brings a deep shift in identity and leadership, and renewed respect for how true power moves in the world. I invite you now to feel ready in the next couple of moments to move into our first restorative pose, which is going to be a supported child's pose. I invite you to take your time as you prepare for supported child's pose. This is going to be a position where you are going to be in kneeling. And you're going to bring the bolster or a pillow in front of you the long way. And you can raise that bolster so that it meets you. The idea is to be as comfortable as possible. We'll probably be in this position for about 5 minutes. You bring your torso down onto that bolster, and you can rest your head to one side that feels comfortable. Once you're here, just settle in. Feel yourself move right back into your rest. And allow your mind to open to hear our first season, which is winter. And the theme for winter is realization. We begin in the time of the 3 winter moons. We've returned to a familiar and sacred haven, only to find it damaged by war. Our time here wakes us to the imperative of change. We contend with upheaval and loss, annul destructive contracts, and realize the range and limits of personal power. This first season lays bare the stakes, rocks the very ground of who we imagine ourselves to be, and alters us to the need to restore ourselves to the circle of life. All that follows is in service to this objective. Thus does a time of dissolution cross-fade into the quiet labor of soul tending. And the question to ponder in this pose: which internal resources come easily? And are there additional supports you can cultivate? Again, the question to ponder: which internal resources come easily? And are there additional supports you can cultivate? Begin to take some final breaths in your child's pose. Slowly move into a seated position and find your Dreamfruit journal to jot any answers or notes that came up for you for the question for the winter. Which internal resources come easily, and are there additional supports you can cultivate? I invite you to write any final thoughts at this point, knowing you can always come back to this question at any point in the future. And we're now going to turn to the next season, which is spring, with its theme of reflection. The restorative pose for spring is supported forward bend. So a forward bend is you're coming and you're having your legs either straight or crossed. Your top of your body is coming forward and you're supporting your head. Now, as you can see, you could do this with your bolster and just kind of come into leaning on your bolster. If that's not comfortable, you could lay the bolster down and put your hands holding your head that way. So get yourself as comfortable as possible. Move around until you find your sweet spot. And here is the theme, spring reflection. The 3 moons of spring feel at once deliberate and strange. You sense a baseline shift, but it's not time yet to act. First, you'll need to reconstellate around a dawning awareness that you are not who you used to be. Be firm about what you intend to leave behind and what you mean to create anew. You've had a first taste of radical belonging, and now you lay the steady groundwork for its emergence. While early spring brings a soul-level awareness, you are soon called into gentle and ordered regulation of the way power expresses itself through you. A time to gain practical skill, tend to the simple, and befriend your benign feral self. And the question to ponder for this season is, which practices help you feel patient and grounded? Again, which practices help you feel patient and grounded? Again, begin to take some final breaths here. And slowly find your way to your Dreamfruit journal again. And write some notes about what came up for you, which practices help you feel patient and grounded. Again, which practices help you feel patient and grounded? I invite you to write any final thoughts for this question and prepare yourself for the next season, which will be summer with the theme Noble Summons. The restorative pose we'll be doing is supported bridge. So I would like you to have one of your props near your hand, which could be a blanket, a block, or a bolster and pillow. And once you have that placed, you can move into a bridge, which is going to be you lay down and you have your knees bent. You get into a comfortable position here. And when you're ready, you're going to move into a bridge. So you lift your buttocks and you place that prop that was near your hand underneath your sacrum. You want this to be comfortable. So you don't worry about whether the prop makes you higher, it's just going to be whether it's comfortable. So a blanket is just as good as the block or the bolster. Once you feel comfortable here, connect with your breath and settle in. As summer approaches, it's time to open to the unexpected, to discover previously unimagined possibilities for who you are and the unique role you fulfill in the ecosystem of your life and the world. These months form the alembic, the alchemical vessel for your shifting self-concept. Whether you readily embrace new identities or feel reluctant to relinquish the familiar, how you navigate these choice points will inform the balance of the journey. The summer moons bring you into the chrysalis, where your imaginal cells can do their mysterious work to shape your emerging identity. The question to ponder is, what can help you refresh your sense of who you are? Again, the question, what can help you refresh your sense of who you are? I invite you to begin your transition by lifting up your hips, taking the prop out from underneath you, and slowly bringing your back onto the floor. Once you're ready, you can find your journal and you can write any notes you have for this question for summer, which is, what can help you refresh your sense of who you are? I'm going to invite you to write any final thoughts for this question as we move into our next season, which is going to be fall with the theme of differentiation. Our restorative pose is going to be supported butterfly. So you can bring your bolster or your pillow behind your back, and you're going to come down onto that bolster. You can have your neck supported with a blanket. You can also have your legs either crossed or straight, and you may like having blocks supporting your knees in the pose. And then your arms can be out by your side or down by your side. That's really up to you. And once you're into the position, again, it's time to connect with our breath and relax. In the time of the fall moons, the deeply internal discoveries of the prior seasons now bloom into a display of dignified glory. These months are your time to shine, but with clear eyes and firm ground. As you incorporate the treasures from your time in the cocoon, new methods and identities arise that ignite spirited care and bold choices. Ready yourself to take a gentle but powerful stand. During this culminating season of the year, you're called to embrace your innocence, your unique perspective, and the heart of your leadership. The question to ponder for this season is, what do servant leadership and soft power look like to you? I invite you to start to bring servant leadership back and soft power look like off the bolster, stay in maybe a side lying position for a moment, and then find your journal one last time to answer the question and write some notes about, what do servant leadership and soft power look like to you? I invite you to write any final thoughts here for this question. And I just wanted to say thank you so much for watching this video, and I hope you enjoyed the practice. I know I enjoyed making it, and my plan is that at the beginning of each season to redo the yoga practice to see how I'm feeling for as the year goes on. So if you have any questions or want more information, you can always find me at Quasar Center with the number 4 healing.com or Christine at quasarcenterforhealing.com.